Hey, it's Hunter, your craft doctor, and in this video I'm just going to tell you how it was and share with you my experiences flying with art supplies and just give you a brief story on my visit to New Mexico. If you are a native of New Mexico, don't be shy and leave a comment showing your pride down in the comment section below. That would be awesome. I really enjoyed it. I was specifically in Clovis for a month, and one thing before I begin, if you watch my travel art supplies video, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say in this video is going to make so much more sense, so I'll put a link to that in the card, and so just check that out. And also, my stay was a lot shorter than what was originally planned. So a lot of the goals and stuff that I talk about in that video did not get met just because it was a lot shorter time, but I'm still gonna try to do those goals now that I'm back at my home. So, traveling, that was my first time ever on a plane, and of course my first time traveling with my art supplies. So, as you've seen in that video, it was amazing to have my pencils in little boxes, little crayon boxes. That worked amazing. And then having my Copics in little zippered containers like this worked out really well. But so I was very curious how they were going to act to my Prismacolor pencils once I went through security. So I put my backpack on the little conveyor belt thing, and then I seen it get pulled off to the side. And I was wondering, I was like, oh no, that can't be good. And so anyway, the little security guy said that something showed up, and then he had to check my backpack, and and so of course I was talking to him across the table while he was checking out my backpack, and he asked me if I had anything sharp or pointy in there, and I told him no, of course, and then I further told him that I do have colored pencils because I am an artist and I have pens and colored pencils in there, but that's the only thing, and they are sharpened, so I guess they would be counted as pointing. So he pulls out my backpack and he opens my crayon box and he looks at my colored pencils that were then in the crayon box, and he just basically checks my bag out, and then he's like, yeah, that's the only thing that the scanner picked up. And then he packed my stuff back in the backpack for me poorly. I technically I packed it back because it was packed so tightly, but he checked it and then he let me go, and that was one of the scariest moments of my life. And so anyway, he checked it and then it was all good, but he did do that. So if you are traveling with art supplies, and especially colored pencils or pens or anything, if they pull you off to the side, don't be too nervous. They're just going to look at your colored pencils and make sure they're colored pencils. So that was the biggest thing. Traveling, everything worked out really well, having my watercolor, these little bags with my Copics, and then the crayon boxes with my colored pencils, and also having the straws over my paintbrushes, even though I didn't get a chance to use them, was also very helpful because they all came home perfectly intact, and I am super grateful for that. So that was really nice. And yeah, so there's the story kind of deal. I am going to clear this off and show you the art that I made in New Mexico. If you are following me on my new Instagram that I made while I was down there, you will have probably already seen this art, especially the one I'm about to show you, because I kept you all very updated on the progress. So first I'm going to go in order, and as you've seen, I bought this little mixed media book because it's the small version of the sketchbook that I always use. And so here is the first drawing I did in New Mexico. It is, I call it the Sacred Arrow. There is a video in it, so I'm not going to show you all that for too much longer, but I do have it, and that is one of two in this sketchbook, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the second one. This one's also on my Instagram, but this was the third drawing I had, and then the second one is a watercolor piece, but here I just did a cactus because there's cacti down there, and we went to Roswell and went to the museum there, the Alien Museum, which was super awesome. Highly recommend if you are in New Mexico, go there. So I did a little tribute here. We also went to a rodeo, so there's a tribute there. And of course, I had to incorporate an arrow with anything that I draw because I love arrows. And then they had this is the New Mexico symbol, and it just this little symbol on this medallion that I drew just means New Mexico, and it is everywhere down there. You all have so much pride in your state, and it is super awesome. So I made a little medallion with the symbol on it, and I thought it just tied it nicely together. And then I had this kind of different colored green cactus to go with it. But I'm going to insert a little clip from the Alien Museum, just a little bit, to give you a little taste of the museum itself. Super cool if you love conspiracy theories or anything like that. Definitely check it out. They have so much cool stuff there. And then we also went to Billy the Kid, or the Billy the Kid Museum and his gravesite, just because it's historical. And I got this little pole, or well, it's a bear, and it is ceramic, and it was handmade by Indians. And I bought it at that museum because it's not just about Billy the Kid. They also have antiques and other things there to purchase. And I seen this, and it was handcrafted locally, and I absolutely loved it. And I had to get it because it's so artsy, and I thought it would look great near my art table or when I take it with me to go to college. So it is super awesome. And so I got it. So we're going to set those to the side. And then here for the last piece, I worked a long time on this. This was the thing I spent the most time on art-wise, coloring and drawing and looking up and referencing and everything for it. So it is in this watercolor pad, and I just want to say a few things about this Master's Touch watercolor pad. It is 140 pounds, as you can see right here. It was good. It did start to break up on me in certain areas, which I was super upset about because I was layering so much. You can literally see the well, here's the palette, and then you can see how much my purple took a hit during. It's got a huge hole in it now, as you can see, and it took a lot out of my purple. But I put a lot of purple in it, so, and I think it turned out really good. It's one of my favorite artworks that I've done to date, being I am still more new to art. And so anyway, especially watercolor, I'm super new to watercolor. This is my first major piece with watercolor. And so anyway, I spent a long time on it. Check my Instagram if you want to see all the updates. I update you from the inking process, and then I go layer by layer on everything. And if you look in the pictures, there's small details that are tweaked later when it's harder to see what all I've done. You can definitely see the little details though. So I put a little piece of paper over to protect it, and here it is. And this is it. It's a little cave. I'll show you more of an overhead shot where you can see more of it, but you can see basically all of it right here in this frame. And here it is, and it took me a long time. As you can see, there's several layers all in the cave side, and then the water was the most difficult part because I was trying a new technique with water and seeing how I liked it, and I did fairly like it. And the paper definitely started to break up on me when I was doing the water because I was adding these little dots in here and little waves, and the paper was super difficult, especially when I went to work with the water, and not as easily to cover up because water is, well, if it wasn't in this dark blue, it was hard to cover up because it's lighter, so you can see the bumps and the grooves and whatnot. But there it is. I'll show you more of an overhead view right here, and if you want to pause the video right here, you can definitely look at it. But as I said, the picture is on my Instagram, and I'll be throwing the little icon and stuff around for you to get my username. It's just the Craft Doctor. But anyway, there is my artworks and the pieces that I did. I had a really great time down there. It is super flat compared to where I live, and yeah, it was super cool. And I also, before I forget to tell you, I went in Hobby Lobby and purchased the 2 sketchbooks. I also got this pack of Prismacolor markers, and I'm just going to briefly show you and talk to you about it really quick and tell you that it was $70, but I did not pay that. And if you want to find out what I did pay for it, you'll have to catch the video I'm going to make on it, and it is coming super soon because I am super excited. I've waited a long time to use these markers, so stay tuned for that. But until then, thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a super awesome day. Thank you, love you, and goodbye.